Oh my gosh, we queue up against Stowe like every time this starts. All right, this time he actually has a pretty good lead.
Oh my goodness, Caleb. Caleb beats me every single time in these. Every single time. We're gonna beat him now, hopefully. Come on.
Oh my gosh, it's actually doing a lot of damage. I should just swap out. That am I using like a? What the heck? Oh, my Talonflame's Great League Talonflame. No wonder why that was doing no damage. I was like, what the heck is this?
Wait, that's a Great League Talonflame. That's a Great League Talonflame. Why is he running a Great League Talonflame?
This is how Tho beats me. This is the first time he's beat me in months.
Nice, I finally get a win against Caleb, dude. It's been a while. Every time a new meta comes out, we play. This happened during Sunshine and Electric. I was trying to run something spicy, and he crushed my dreams every time. But not this time. I don't care that he used a 1500 talent. I'll take that, okay? I'll take that. GG's.
Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I'll be talking about a team I used in Ultra League recently, and it's really solid. Got a 80% win rate in these more recent sets. Obviously, not every single one of my sets were up to par in that win rate percentage, but I think in these two particular sets, I played incredibly well and made smart decisions. I made a lot of misplays in some other sets, and that's not nearly as educational and helpful for those learning the team. So the team I ran is a Jellicent with a Cobalion and Talonflame. Jellicent is actually a really solid core breaker right now because a lot of Poliwrath usage, a lot of Tentacruel usage, both getting Scald. On top of that, there's also Talonflame, so really one of the best checks to a lot of the newer Pokemon, or I should say newer, but the Pokemon that got updated moves. And so it core breaks a lot of teams in that regard. On top of that, it still has great matchups against Tapu Fini and some of the other, like Cobalion, other things that have been meta already. There's a lot of ABB components to this team, but there's actually a lot of ABA components as well. So I'm going to deep dive into the team on how to use it and how to play out various different matchups. Before we get into the battles, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you'd like private one-on-one coaching, scrims against me, some of my league guides and strategies ahead of time, or even tune into my live stream battles, feel free to sign up through the Patreon link down below. Starting things off, we get Obstagoon in game number 1, and these are 10 straight battles in a row. So nothing filtered out. I'm not cherry picking any of these battles. It's just exactly what I saw. So obviously Obstagoon pretty bad for the team, and they come in with Cresselia. So in this situation, it's not really worth shielding to try to flip switch advantage, just because it's not the easiest thing to do. And on top of that, you never really know what they have in the back. So the ABB component of the team, obviously you have two great answers to like Venusaur, some grass types, the steel types, etc. But your ABA weak to stuff like Greninja, dragons, and so there's a couple of things that your ABA weak to. Electrics is huge, and we'll talk more about all those things. So they revealed the Grass Knot, they revealed the Moonblast, so I knew that I was safe to bring in Talonflame. Now here's an important thing to note. They come in Alolan Muck. Now, the thing is, if I swap in my Jellicent, I just lock it into the Obstagoon. I'm in a really bad spot, right? I had to call the bait there too as well. So the better play is to just stay in with Talonflame, boost, ramp up my attack damage, take the resist to counter damage. Yes, my defense is debuffed, debuffed by one stage, but Talonflame still is fairly bulky in Ultra League compared to Great League. And then I'm just going to do my best to optimize in this situation. If you don't know how to optimize, yet, make sure you check out my optimization video. I'll drop it down below, especially with Talonflame, using Talonflame, facing Talonflame, all these things. It's very important to know how to optimize your charge attack timing. Otherwise, you'll really pay for it in a lot of these situations. But at this point in time, you know, Jellicent is enough to take out the Obstagoon too. So pretty bad lead, pretty bad counter swap, but using that Talonflame as a core breaker in the end is very strong. All right. Dragonite, so obviously I said ABA weak to dragons. Dragonite is a little bit better, all things considered, but it's really like the dark dragons like Guzzlord, I guess. It's one of the few that's quite the core breaker. Alright, so I typically bait with the first surf every Dragonite shields. So now they're down 2 shields right off the bat, which is absolutely pretty massive for me. I'm going to shield. It's probably a Dragon Claw bait, but you just want to play on the safer side. They don't swap out, so I get the Stone Edge off and take out the Dragonite, which is massive for me. They come on Jellicent. So Jellicent is actually not the best for my team because I don't really have a great answer for it, just my own. However, I can really chip it down at this point in time with my Cobalion. I also have no idea what they have in the bag, so my guess is whatever they have in the bag is even weaker to my Cobalion than this Jellicent is. So yeah, okay, so they come in with their own Cobalion. Really great catch actually from them. So catching a double resisted fast charge attack. And we get the Sacred Sword off. Now, because of this, I just need to shield one Stone Edge, I'm fine. There's really no point for them to bait because they don't get to another move anyway. And yes, Jellicent beats Talonflame, but this matchup is actually not that bad for Talonflame, especially if you're up this much energy. Again, optimization is really important, which is why I'm throwing one Incinerate to fully optimize off these 3-turn moves. Optimizing isn't as important when you're using a longer fast attack duration move like Incinerate, but when you can, you always should. It makes a huge difference. And again, if you don't know what that is, I'll link it down below so you can check it out. That's definitely like a thing that a lot of very high-level players do that is easier to miss if you don't know what you're looking for, right? If you don't know optimization yourself. Tapu Fini in the lead. Pretty good. They just let it go. So, and now they come in Registeel and they have the Talonflame. Again, it's kind of an easy bait situation because most are going to shield. If they don't shield that potential Stone Edge, then they just get straight taken out by the Cobalion, right? Up 2 shields. So, yeah, we got both their shields, which is pretty massive. Not the perfect optimization on my end there, but suboptimal is fine too in this situation. And we get to another surf. A great catch from the opponent though. However, that means that I can just finish it off with Talonflame. I do have to shield one Zap Cannon for sure, but the Flame Charge plus Incinerate damage should put this Registeel quite low. I don't think I can go for the full farm down. Yeah, I can't. But I should be able to tank one Zap Cannon. Yeah, Ultra League Talonflame, way bulkier than the Great League variants. Of course, you want to run the Hundo if you can. It is going to be the rank 1. There's a Best Buddy variants, but I personally don't recommend running Best Buddy unless you have to in Ultra League. Like a Pokemon that just doesn't hit level 50. Or doesn't hit 2500, I should say. Alolan Sandslash. So, not, again, counter swap by the Cresselia. This is not a surprise because they have to have fighting counters in the back. Being double weak to fighting, it's definitely something they have to worry about. And, again, I don't know if this is Future Sight or not. But they're going to shape Moonblast. And a lot of times people will throw the Grass Knot at the very end, so it really gives me some insight there. And you can see I'm going for another move, but they get to it first. They do throw the Grass Knot, so they reveal the Grass Knot, which means that they're actually quite weak to Talonflame leads. But that being said, my Talonflame is in the back. Would you get the Flame Charge off? Unfortunately, not enough to take out the Cresselia, but we get a full Incinerate, so it's actually not too bad, considering that's just resistant Moonblast. And again, this is where it's really nice to have this Talonflame. We go for the bait. As you can see, I'm trying to swap. Unfortunately, not able to. But again, kind of similar to that Alolan Muck situation. In this situation, at this point, there's just no need for me to swap. I get the back-to-backs flies off at this point. Again, I'm going to try to optimize, get some additional Incinerate damage, optimize my timings, get as much as I can out of this matchup, and now we have that final Flame Charge. If I didn't optimize as much, I probably wouldn't get this Flame Charge off. But yeah, able to get that off, and then this is the 5th game of the set, so it's currently undefeated, and then we go into a Guzzlord lead. One of the core breakers for sure. In this situation, you just don't want to shield anything because you have to kind of save your shields for the Talonflame in the back. It's your only chance of taking this out, which is still not ideal. My best hope is that they miscount, but they're good and they didn't miscount at all. So not the best for me. They throw a Shadow Ball, and then I'm going to Hex all the way down. I decided to swap for the Talonflame. I could throw the Shadow Ball and dip first, but there's a chance I could combo play later too, because 2 shields are up, but they have a Lantern in the back. So, hard wall situation for all 3 matches. So, all 3 matchups. So, you can see, I still went 4-1 that sets. But again, when you lose those kind of battles, it's not really a big deal in my opinion, because there's just literally nothing you could do, no matter how well you play it. No matter how well I play it, I guess. There's just no way I can flip that. And if I flip that, the Lantern's about to beat Core Break my Jellicent and the Talonflame. Alright, speaking of hard counter matchups, not looking so good for me right now. We are going to go for probably aggressive Hex down. If I hit close to 100 energy, the better play actually is to let them throw their energy and come in Talonflame. So I'll pretty much add 100 energy at this point, so I'm going to just aggressively swap over to Talonflame. I don't think they get to another move. They have Greninja in the back. Again, another really hard counter situation, unfortunately, and a huge core breaker again. My own play is to hopefully call a nice slash bait, but they went straight for the Hydro Cannon, which was a great play by them. So, 2 back-to-back hard counter losses. Not really a big deal, in my opinion, because, you know, even though it sucks, it happens from time to time. It's going to happen to everyone, right? No matter what team you run. All right. Abomasnow in the lead. They catch the energy on the Lantern, which is interesting because Lantern doesn't really win this, especially after taking that Sacred Sword damage early on. So, kind of interesting that this is what they did. I almost thought about shielding, but I said, you know what? Let's just save the shields for later just in case. And we get to another Sacred Sword. If they shield that, they probably got shield KO'd. So, really good call by them not to shield. And they have Ampharos. So, another core breaker for my team, right? Electric types are core breakers for this Jellicent Talon combo. And so that's why Cobalion, even though it's a safe swap, has a lot of value on top of it. So we're going to shield at this point in time. I really want to get this damage off on the Ampharos. My hope is that they swap in their Abomasnow so that I could get a lot of energy. And that's exactly what they did. So huge for me. Now I could just no shields. I believe this says Icy Wind now. It does. So... but we have the Flame Charge. I'm going to just throw it right away. They actually didn't throw a move, so pretty nice for me. And then we get the full Incinerate down. So even though this is a core breaker, still plenty of ways to handle it, especially because a lot of electric types are just a little bit on the frail end. Tentacruel, fantastic lead, like I said earlier. Jellicent just core breaks the Tentacruel and a lot of backlines. So you can see probably a core break situation because they haven't swapped out yet, which is really odd to me. I'm surprised I even got to the second Shadow Ball. They finally shield, and now they finally swap. And they swap to the Greedent. And so here's a real important thing as I play this team a lot. A lot of people have Greedents or like Registeel or something to draw out your Cobalion / fighter. And that means there's a good chance there might be something like a Greninja, a Guzzlord, something else weak to fighting in the back. And the Greninja and Guzzlord in particular are core breakers for that Talonflame Jellicent matchup. So something I learned from playing this is if you can, just preserve it. We end up catching the energy on this, was huge. Tentacruel is pretty much in fly range, so it's not a big deal. And then here comes the Guzzlord. As expected, they have a core breaker, and so I'm really glad I saved the Cobalion with a lot of energy actually on top of that. So it's quite nice for me. We're just going to go straight for the Shadow Ball. They're going to farm me all the way down, but we resist all the charge attacks on this Guzzlord. So I'm just going to throw the Sacred Sword right away, probably on charge attack priority. We get it off first, obviously, because Guzzlord's probably going to lose that. I'm going to go no shield. I don't want them to think that this is valuable for me. And I knew that I could get another one off. And at this point in time, the Guzzlord's closing in on fly range as well. So no big deal. Great catch by them. But this is fine too. Sets my Talonflame up pretty well. We actually don't get a debuff, which is nice. And then I get the Flame Charge off. I think this is on charge attack priority too, which is really nice. Nothing they can really threaten me here with, so I'm just gonna let it go in case they get like a crunch debuff or something. I don't know, but they actually have brutal swing, so nothing to worry about there. And again, optimize when you can. I knew they pretty much had no energy, so it's okay for me to go for one additional Incinerate. Do that extra damage when you can, get it in, and yeah, able to win that one. So again, really just not falling for the bait when those situations happen. Speaking of not falling for the bait, this looks like a bait situation, but I kind of have to come in with this because it's my only check to Virizion. Virizion is also definitely a core break for this team to in the lead, especially with the Leaf Blade. This one does have Stone Edge. I kind of expected to have Stone Edge because it's a safe swap and most people are going to have, or a lot of people do have Flying Fire. I get to the back-to-back fly. I mean, honestly, this fly buff for or addition to Talonflame makes it super strong. And again, we're going to go for that pivot play just in case I need the Talonflame, right? Because they're trying to bait it out. And as expected, they were baiting it out for another grass. Cobalion luckily does have quite a bit of play into Shadow Meganium, so no big deal. I go for the resistive surf because I was hoping to like throw them off a little bit to get some guaranteed damage before they get the Frenzy Plant off. And now they are going to throw another Frenzy Plant. Not enough to take me out. I can't get to fly, but we are able to neutralize the Meganium. I'm going to shield up a potential Moonblast, which it ends up being. And at this health range on Tapu Fini, it's low enough that Sacred Sword is enough to take it out, which is the main reason why I pivoted back over to my Jellicent earlier. If, yes, Tapu Fini is good into Cobalion, but at this health range, I can handle it. So I'd rather pull out their third Pokemon if I can, in case it's a Core Breaker for my Cobalion and Jellicent. All right, another Shadow Dragonite lead. This one actually swaps out right away. And so, again, one of those situations where I learned is, yes, Cobalion has a fantastic play against Skuntank. Obviously, some of them actually do have flamethrowers, so it's not the best. But in case they have like a Greninja in the back, another Core Breaker, we want to preserve it. And so I'm going to just farm all the way down. Yes, I spend both shields, but I should be able to get these shields off the Dragonite pretty easily. They don't shield, which is kind of wild. So I'm going to go for a Flame Charge. In case they do shield, they don't shield that either, and now they come in with a Regiseal, so not too bad. Not a huge Core Breaker, but I didn't really know that, right? Obviously, I get a lot of value out of this matchup because yes, they're up 2 shields, but they have to throw 2 back-to-back charge attacks. So in the meantime, I get a lot of damage. I get both their shields actually, and yeah, putting this Regiseal quite low. They can't farm me all the way down either. I saw the Talonflame, and even at this health range, my Jellicent should be fine, but I'm just going to finish off with the Talonflame. No Jellicent needed for this match. Again, the buffs to Talonflame were wild. Another 4-1. Like I said, 80% win rate in these back-to-back sets. A lot to learn from them. Quite a bit of variety as well. And in case you're wondering, how do you deal with the Ampharos lead or Shadow Ampharos lead? Well, here you go. This is an additional battle I just added in where I played into it. So you could definitely swap, and I've tried that before, but I think another play is you can also stay in, grab the shields, and then swap out eventually. So we grab both shields right off the bat. Electric's very frail, right? Cobalion is still my most reliable check, so I'm going to try to save this as much as I can. I'm going to pivot out when I can and just like realign it. This is also Dragon Breath Giratina, so it's actually not too bad for my Cobalion, all things considered. They haven't even thrown a single move yet, actually. So I'm going to just swap over to that Jellicent whenever I can. I'm not really worried about this Giratina at this point because it's not going to be a huge problem for my Talonflame out of the way. And now they come in with their Giratina, and I throw the Surf expecting a combo play from the Ampharos, but they actually end up coming in with Skeledirge. It's kind of interesting. So I end up getting 2 Surfs off on the Skeledirge, which is huge for me. So right now, yeah, they're in a really tough spot. I mean, I have energy on my Cobalion. Even if they have Ancient Power, no big deal. And you can see I'll try and make a combo play. End up missing the swap. I think I accidentally pressed Fly at the same time. So not on purpose, not a BM. And yeah, I just wanted to go for the Flame Charge. This is also not BM, Stone has just a little more damage. But able to make the combo play. We finish off against that Ampharos with 2 shields still remaining too. Into a Shadow Ampharos lead. So if anyone's a hater and be like, I don't know, this whole team's really weak to electric leads. I mean, unless they have you completely countered all the way throughout, there's a lot of play. And hopefully you can see that. Anyway, hope this video was helpful. If you end up using the team, let me know how it goes. Talonflame, super strong right now. Jellicent, like I said, in this current meta, very, very strong. And Cobalion, just super safe in general. So hopefully these are Pokemon you can use. And yeah, best of luck on your climbs. We're going to be getting our ELO pretty soon. So I'll keep you all posted on that. But until next time, be sure to like and subscribe if you like this content. Hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video. And I'll catch you all next time. Peace.